Welcome to the garage. This is what happens when you let your interest in cars get out of control, I guess. Greg and I, big car enthusiasts, we have been since we were kids, as long as I can remember, and that has sort of escalated into where we are now at the minute. We've taken on a few projects. We like to track cars, we are interested in getting into motorsport, so a couple of bits in here are going to be associated with that. But anyway, I'll flip the camera around and show you where our obsession has led to at the minute. Okay, so we'll go front to back and talk through some of the cars that we've got in. This one, the E46, that is our most recently acquired project and probably the most in-depth project we've taken on so far. Talk about that in a minute because it's early days for this one. E21 project, that is undergoing a full resto. That's going to be a really special car, that, when it's done. If you haven't guessed already in the short space of time, we're big BMW fans, but this is Greg's. All the undersides are going to be fully powder coated, engine, gearbox overhaul, interior, exterior. So that'll be restored to its former glory and some. We'd love to see that when it's done. TT Mark 1, BAM engine TT, 300 horsepower. This one's tuned to. I'm not sure of the list of mods on this one. Greg probably got more information on it, but I think this is an in and out project, this one, so it won't be here for a long time, that. 205 XS, a barn find. That's a really interesting little car. You do not see many. It's a low mileage example, that. And Greg's just sold it, so that won't be here long either. This is the cause for all of it. This is where we started. I'll talk about that in a bit more detail, the MG, in just a minute. Yes, because that's why we're here. BMW 5 Series, that's one that Greg's going to have up for sale any minute. That's good and ready to go. I think it's just waiting an MOT, which is being done Friday. Nice, really nice car to drive, that. Smooth as silk. But I think that's about it. That's Greg's farm car outside and a 206 GTI 180 there. Again, I think that's going to be a short in and outer. But yeah, so the two main projects, E46 330 CI track/race car project, and at the back the MG ZS 180, which is an ongoing current track car. So I'll whip straight to the MG now and just give a rundown of what that is. Okay, so the MG, this is our first track car. I'll give you the backstory, and if you're asking why did you choose an MG ZS for a track car, the simple answer is I didn't. Greg and I had a discussion a few years ago that we wanted to try our luck at track days, and we'd set a budget of a couple of grand or so, do a bit of research. In a couple of months we'd get something tried and tested and try our luck on the track. So we were considering the usual suspects, Civics and Clios and Focuses and so on and so forth. Anyway, a couple of weeks after that discussion, Greg sends me a picture of this with a caption that says, "I've just bought our track car." I was a little bit taken back and a little bit sceptical, as you can imagine, because it isn't what we discussed at all. I know nothing of the capabilities of the MGs. It does ring alarm bells with regards to how reliable they are and what the maintenance is and parts availability and things like that. It's not as tried and tested as the things that we were discussing. So yeah, I was sceptical, but Greg said, look, it was 600 quid, let's give it a bash. I said, you know what, bugger it, for 600 quid, we'll give it a go. Anyway, we booked a track day at Castle Combe, and the rest is history. The car, I fell in love with it. We absolutely fell in love with the car. It was so good out the box. I mean, the first day we did, the car was bog standard. I think it had yellow stuff pads in it. That's it. Road tyres, standard suspension. It had all the weight in it. We did nothing to it except the pads. And yeah, the bug absolutely got us. The MG bug got us. So since that day, the rest, I suppose, is history. We've been slowly developing the car as we go. The nice thing about it is we've been doing it bit by bit with this car because we haven't got the budget to throw thousands at it straight away and overhaul it in one go. But it's nice because every time we've done a track day, we've thought about the next mod we want to do, and then that means that the next track day is it gives us a real clear idea on how much difference that particular part or modification has made. And that's where we've got to today. So those mods, those mods in no particular order, I guess, were, how is the car now? Let's try and run through it. So tyres, we've got two sets of tyres now. Uniroyal Rain Sports for the wet, Nankang AR1s for the dry. Engine-wise, it's fairly standard. I've only done decat, a back box, cold air feed to a standard box, oil catch can. I've popped the aircon out of it. We've stripped some of the weight in the car. We're running Mintex F4R pads on standard discs and calipers, fancy red ones. EBC race fluid, EBC braided lines. The majority of the chassis is poly bushed with a few bits left to go. Coilovers we've got, front and rear gas coilovers. I think modification wise that's about it. The rest is sort of semi-aesthetic. We've done nothing really to the body. I've drilled some holes in the front bumper under the number plate, and it's got silver mirrors. That's another story as to why it's got silver mirrors, not one for today. And inside, genuinely the best mod you can do, I think, is free, and it's stripping the weight out of it. We've still got some weight to take out, front door cards, it's got front carpets, the whole dash and so on, but Momo steering wheel, OMP steering wheel, Momo gear knob. These Kobaru seats, however you pronounce it, Kobaru seats were £100 off Facebook Marketplace. Had to get seat frames made because I didn't do my due diligence. So if you're thinking of buying buckets for an MG, get ones with side mounts. TRS harnesses, TRS harness straps. I like to say in the back, the majority of it's gone. Still a few more bits that we can be taking out. Excuse the bag of parts there and some bits in the boot, but otherwise it is most of the weight's out the back. Still got the pillars in, the roof lining and rear door cards for some reason, but anyway. And other than that, it's just a bit of setup really. So we've had the car roll and roaded. It dynos at 180.9 horsepower. It weighs about 1,100 kilos with fuel. And we've had it corner weighted and geoed. So it's run a little bit of negative camber. I don't know if you can see it. But anyway, that package brings us a lot of fun. But like I say, for now, we're going to have to hit the pause button on it because of the project behind me, which we'll go through in just a sec. Future plans for this car were going to be, or are still going to be, but like I say, it will just be later on down the line. I'd like to get the rest of the weight out of it, finish polybushing it, maybe a brake upgrade, but not that fast. ITG intake, and get some skunk 2 arms so we can run some more negative camber. But anyway, that's that on the MG for now. I'll talk to you about project number 2. Okay, so project number 2 in the garage is this E46 330Ci. I'll give you the story on this again because it's a very familiar occurrence with Greg, in the sense that we had a conversation a little while ago that at some point down the line, once we're finished with the MG, we would look to buy an E46 or an E36 and turn that into a track car. We love BMWs anyway, and we thought rear wheel drive would be some fun, so we'll give it a go. But anyway, at some point in the future, let's concentrate on getting the MG finished and getting the most out of that. Anyway, not long after that discussion, or certainly sooner than expected, I get another text message image with a caption that says, "I've just bought another track car." So I thought, God, it's happened again. But I'll be honest, I wasn't too upset about it because, well, A, we love BMWs. But secondly, when I saw what he'd bought, I honestly had a hidden agenda in the sense that there's an itch I've always wanted to scratch, which is to step it up a little bit from track days and actually try and compete and do some circuit racing. So I said to Greg, do you know what, I'll go along with it, we'll do it, but I want to turn it into a race car. And I think I've managed to get him on side. Well, I certainly hope I have, because the development started. So the idea is this car will be fully developed into a eligible race car for the 750 Motor Club Road Sport Series. They're 45-minute endurance races. Looks like really, really good fun. Mandatory pitch stop, so Greg and I can share the cost and share the experience. It just looks like an awesome way to take the next step up from track days and get into circuit racing. So this is a proper project, this one. It will be built to FIA regs and 750 Motor Club regs for the series. It will compete in Class C at 180 brake per tonne. So everything we're doing, we're thinking about before we do it, rather than just slapping it on. And there's much, much more to go into this car, so there'll be much more development. Don't get me wrong, budget is still a thing for us, so it won't be the most expensive or engineered car, best engineered car out there, but it will be a race car. At the minute, it is early days. We only picked it up the other week, so we've done a few little mods with some bits in the bag to go on. So I'll show you the first mod, and let's go inside first because we picked these up off Facebook Marketplace the other day. I think they look wicked, but there's an added bonus with these OMP TRSE bucket seats. Actually, we picked them up off Facebook Marketplace second hand. They were 400 quid. Oh, we took the back out as well. Back seats out. Yeah, they were 400 quid with the side mounts, and they are in date. It's still FIA regulated till 2025 end. So that's a bonus if we can get to the circuit before then. And the next mod is Ram Air induction kit that Greg found on, he got off Amazon. It was about £170, I think. So we popped that on, proper DIY job, nice and easy. It's due in Friday, the work's going to commence. So we've bought for this car a full polybush kit. We've bought reinforced shock tower mounts, reinforced subframe kit, and powder coated rear axle carrier. Because while it's all off, we might as well do that to it. I think that's it for the list of mods that we've got, except from Greg bought us a radio blank off plate the other day, so yeah, that'll go on as well. Huge difference that'll make. But anyway, no, the idea for that, it will serve a purpose. That will be where we install our fire extinguisher switch and the battery kill switch. But anyway, that's about it for now. This will be the main focus for the videos. We're going to catalogue how we get along with this, just so that we can look back on the experience, because both of us regret that we didn't do it with the MG, really. And if we can bring some people with us along the way that find it of interest as well, then hey, well, that's an added bonus. So yeah, looking forward to making the next video. Really, really excited to get on the circuit with this car, but it will be a budget dependent thing. So I guess stay tuned, and we look forward to making the next video for progress.